Burned bits of bread, stains on drain pipes, creases in socks. At this point, folks have claimed to see Jesus' face pretty much everywhere. But these sightings go beyond the typical toasted bread portrait into truly odd territory.
What if it's a miracle?
No,
it's a miracle!
Well, listen, it could be a miracle, it could be bull.
There are so many bread and or cheese options for divine sightings that they're practically their own subgenre. The OG grilled Cheesus sandwich that kickstarted the new wave of Savior visitations, which actually had the Virgin Mary on it, the seller claimed, not JC himself, sold on eBay for $28,000 in 2004. Also, the moldless sandwich was apparently 10 years old at that point. There's an earlier bready version of Jesus seen on a tortilla back in 1977, too. The corn disc was encased in a glass and metal shrine on a cloud of cotton balls because why not? More recently, we've got multiple Cheesus pizza sightings. In 2011, a pizza from Brisbane, Australia's Posh Pizza emerged from the oven with the bubbling face of Christ on top, though some say it looks more like Christian Bale. The pie drew $158 on eBay. Later in 2022, dad and truck driver Glenn Smith made a homemade pizza, and Jesus' face emerged in the blackened bits of cheese on its surface. Smith told the Sun, "I used tomato puree, chorizo, and cheese. All the basics, really. Then I saw the face like Jesus." If Jesus' face lives in bread and cheese, it only stands to reason that it'd bleed off into the grease.
So greasy.
That's exactly what happened in January 2023 when Kim Ellis looked down at her grease-soaked pizza box and saw Jesus' flowing locks. If greasy Jesus isn't your thing, then no worries. The owners of the most aptly named hen in existence, Gloria, found Christ's face in her very feathers. As a 2010 archived post on the forum In the 2000s says, police officer Mitchell Granger from the West Midlands, England, recognized the face right away in the picture of his chicken. He says, "I literally said, 'Jesus Christ,' when I saw the picture. The face of Jesus is clear to see, and when I showed my mom, she even pointed out the ring of thorns." To be clear, the face of Jesus wasn't a permanent pattern in Gloria's feathers. By all accounts, Granger was on his property one day and decided to take a picture of Gloria, who was in the middle of a dust bath. Upon looking at the photo and showing it to his partner, Sharon Conway, the two saw Jesus' face in the feathers. It passed around word of the sighting to friends and family, which seemingly ignited a wave of religious sentiment. Despite the apt naming, Granger named the chicken Gloria. Not for any Christian reason, but because she'd survived a fox attack on her chicken coop that killed 19 other chickens. Hence the reference to the 1978 Gloria Gaynor song, "I Will Survive," as well as discussions of divine grace. In case you thought chicken feathers were the most unusual place to spot Jesus, we direct you to another heavenly body, so to speak. Spencer Matthews and his cheese grater-like abs. Matthews, a British TV actor and celebrity, decided to run 30 marathons in 30 days to challenge himself. He ended at the end of August 2024 in a desert, looking exhausted, desperately hungry, and having lost almost 21 pounds of water weight. And there on his bare torso, as he stood with one arm encircling the waist of his wife Vogue, emerged the hardened and sun-tanned face of the Son of God. And in case you're wondering, Jesus' mouth is the belly button. As Metro recalls, plenty of fans pointed out the sighting on Instagram, saying things like, quote, "It looks like Jesus. I can't unsee that now." Takes a little work to see Jesus' face in Spencer's abs, sure, but it's just as possible as any of the other sightings on this list. There's no word on whether or not Spencer caught word of the sighting, although it's unlikely Jesus will stick around on his torso as he recovers from near dehydration. Parisians around the world might recall the shock and horror of hearing that Notre Dame Cathedral caught fire in 2019. The ancient, imposing, and gorgeous landmark dates all the way back to 1163 CE and stood watch from the north side of the Seine River over the passing of countless kings, wars, revolutions, and more. And all it took was a flippantly discarded cigarette or a faulty wire to nearly burn the whole thing down. Restoration is on schedule, and the project received £850 million in donations from French sources alone. In other words, what better location to behold a sighting of the savior of humanity? At least, that's what Scottish passerby Leslie Rowan thought. She told the Daily Record, "When I looked at this photo last night, I was really astounded by what I saw. When I look at it, I see a silhouette of Jesus. I really see a vivid image. I feel like it will bring comfort to people in Paris and all over the world at this sad time." To be clear, we're talking a full-body apparition, stereotypical Jesus robe, sash, and all. Not everyone was convinced, however. I guess we'll have to see if Jesus drops by for the cathedral's reopening. While there are many more notable places where Jesus has apparently made an appearance, we're going to end on a sighting that, and pardon the pun, every potty can agree is pretty silly. Namely, seeing Jesus' face and the stains on a newly laid bathroom floor, with the top of his head near the base of the toilet. Freedom Murphy of Birmingham, England, backed up her claims with photographic evidence of a smeared, glossy Jesus face right where folks have to step if they make a pit stop. Murphy was no stranger to unexplained phenomena, as she'd previously contacted a medium to investigate her house on claims of phantom baby cries. Keep in mind, though, she has 5 kids, feeling touched by unseen entities and beams of light streaming from somewhere. Then, when her family finished their new bathroom floor, she saw Jesus staring up at her from the cement. She told the Birmingham Mail, "When I looked at the image, it sent a shiver down my spine. I could make out eyes, a nose, mouth, long hair, and beard."